Hello guys, my name's Ajay and I wrote CAT 24 this year, yesterday. I've been preparing for 9 to 10 months and yeah, just like most of you, I was also very stressed. Yesterday I wrote my exam and I wasn't very happy with my attempt. The reason I'm making this video because I saw a lot of other people do that, so I was like, maybe I should give my perspective as well. So yeah, I'll just change this here. I don't know why that transition exists, but it's there. Um, so yeah, uh, for me, I had slot three. So in slot three, I already had an idea of the changes. I was anticipating a change in the ILR, which did come, 22 questions. Um, Rest, I wasn't too sure of, but oh well. Very nervous that day, but okay. Uh, VRC first when it came up. I saw RCs were actually readable. Uh, Given my English is not too great, not in a sense that whenever I wrote my VRC sections, my attempts were very volatile, and I always scored in the 20s range. So, given that, yeah, RCs were readable, but the questions which came with it, the questions were all critical reasoning, and that gave me a bit of stress because I usually get those wrong, and it's hard to tell when you are getting those wrong. So I was shaking in my boots. So I decided to read two RCs. One was based on travel, related to like drinking alcohol stuff. Uh, and the other one was on language preservation. The reason I chose that language preservation one because I've read passage related to it a bunch of times. So yeah, and then came the VA. VA had no paraformation this time. No paraformation. Only only we had odd one out. Um, what else? Para summary and we had fill sentence placement. Yes. Yep, yep. And yeah, these were kind of jumbled, so that was maybe a little surprising factor. But yeah, especially the RCs, I usually expect a RC to be very dense in terms of use of complex words. But this time, all of them were like critical reasoning, critical reasoning. One of the questions on the AI one had tones, and when I saw that question, I read the options. The options were very beyond me. They're not understandable to me, so I had to leave that passage altogether. So yeah, I did that, in VRC at least. And then for DILR, the sets were, I'll say, comparatively easier to what I've been writing in my mocks. There were five sets. One was roots and networks. Uh, it was about ATM banks being placed. Whatever it was like three roads like this, three roads like this. There was this distance written 4 or 7, I believe, if I'm not wrong, and 3 and 5. And then there are banks situated at 6 of these 9 points. This was There were these numbers written here. What they represent, I'll tell you. So every bank had a limit of what money you have to put in that ATM thingy. And these numbers represent the combination of those. So let's say I talk about, I will even name these R1, R2, R3, something like that. V1, V2, V3. So there will be like six banks or ATMs which will be placed here, and questions were related to that. So, like for example, there will be two banks with 7 and 15 lakhs as their maximum capacity. So they were supposed to be here because, as you know, 7 plus 15 is 22, so that fits. And then you had to figure it out from there. So of course, I thought, well, 8 and 12, 9 and 11. These are the other two combinations. And then I placed them like 7, 15, 8, 12, and this was empty, empty again, 9, 11. I think it is wrong, but I don't know where I went wrong exactly. But this is what I did, and then I just somehow attempted that set in 10 minutes because I attempted this in the end. So there was this. There was another one which was on an OTT platform with bar graphs. I didn't understand it too well, so I just decided to skip it. There was an AC one. So basically, you have an AC which you turn on and off, and it has two modes, normal and power, which decide how at what rate it cools down your room. It seemed complicated, so I left that as well. There was this carbohydrates one, like a nutrition value one, which had like a bunch of cereals or pulses, and it had carbohydrates, proteins, fats. I don't remember because I didn't even attempt that. So I left that one too. Uh, and the last one I think was the GD one, GDP. So there are like 10 countries out of which the data for 8 is given, and 9 and 10, you know that this has the highest GDP and this has the highest GDP per capita. So one column has GDP, GDP per capita, growth in GDP, and growth in population. That was how the table was given. And there were four questions. The first two were doable, the last two were very lengthy. So I don't know why I took my time to do those. I certainly shouldn't have. And yeah, that took my time. So I did two sets, not completely right, but I did do them. So that's that. Uh, for for I'll have to make a new one here. No, I don't save. For quants, right? Quants is supposed to be my strength, and I was expecting seeing the paper. Actually, what happened to me was that LRD I somehow saved because I did that root and network question in like 10 minutes. Literally, I figured it out, did whatever, and just went to the next section. And English was very nerve-wracking for me, given how the RC's options were, how the questions were only critical reasoning. So I was very nervous there. Quants, I don't know what happened. I usually have a strategy. After looking at the paper, I was like, yeah, I should be able to do 12 easily. And I think 12, 13 would be what you require to get 99 in quants. Because it was on the easier side this time. I'll say moderate, moderate, not too hard, not too easy either. It wasn't a cakewalk. Um, but definitely all the questions were not all, but most of it was doable. But anyway, I did 9 questions, out of which I already know one of them is wrong. So I did 8 correct. And this one was theta, so no negative. What happened to me is that in the last 20 minutes, I don't know where my brain went. I just started making silly mistakes for no reason. There was this one question on distance, TSD basically. Like a certain vehicle travels at a certain speed to reach at a certain time. If it travels, let's say 6 kilometers per hour, it takes 4 more hours, I believe. And if it travels faster, it or maybe it was the other way around actually. I think that's how this was. So basically, if you travel with 6 kilometers an hour more, you reach there 4 hours earlier, right? Um, and if you travel at a speed 6 kilometers per hour less, uh, you reach there in 6 hours more time. So you have to basically solve these two basic equations for SMT, and you have to determine basically ST distance. I did this question 3 times to get the right answer. This basic question 3 times. I usually do it under 1 minute one time, and I'm just like, yeah, next question, please. But I did this 3 times, and I don't know what happened in those last 20 minutes to me. So I could have pushed for more. I could have definitely pushed for 12 questions, but I did only 9. The one question I did wrong was uh, the number of numbers between 1 to 500 where no digit is repeating. So you basically say that the total number of all digits that can happen is 10, 9, 8 with non-repeating stuff. Of course, you can put a 0 here because you are counting from 1 to 500. So that will give you 720, I think. And then you subtract those which are over 500. Or you can give yourself an option here itself, if I think about it, where it's like you have options of 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 5 options here, and then once you pick an option from here, you have all the options available except the one you picked. So 9 options here and 8 options here, right? So this should have been the answer, I think, which is 40. Oh wait, this is also 360 apparently. So this might be correct. I don't know. I don't know. I have no clue. Maybe I'm doing this wrong, but yeah, I think I could have done more for sure. So quants was something I should have pushed for, but oh well. We move on, right? So I was sad a little bit that 20 minute of the exam was eating me. After the exam, that what happened? What did I do wrong? What I figured out was that basically I've been preparing for CAT for 9 to 10 months, and I'm going to a coaching institute, yeah, all that stuff. Um, and what I realized was that I wasn't too sure of this attempt anywhere. I was very doubtful about how will anything work anyways because my English was weak, and yeah, it did improve, but I was still doubtful that well, English will still be bad. Maths, even if I do good, what's the point if English is horrible? Um, DILR, I was thinking, yeah, I'll do it, and I did do it, not as optimally as I hoped for. With VRC, I did. pursue my strategy, and it worked. I guess I don't know. I haven't got the score. No one has. So, oh well. Um, DILR, I've realized I'm not very good with set selection sometimes, so I'll have to improve on that. And well, quants I already told you, I could have pushed. So, well, I was doubtful already. The reason of me being doubtful was because VARC, very volatile. I was scoring much less than my peers and I didn't know what to do. I was very confused. I am still not too good, but I have the confidence to say that I can do a bit better and I can push harder. But yeah, well, so I was doubtful about my preparation, which eventually converted to stress, and that stress basically reflected in these 20 minutes where my brain just stops working. So I think that's what happened. And secondly, I think was not being smart about my preparation. I tried to do everything properly. Like if VRC I'm weak at, I'm not like, okay, even if I score a high, like something like, let's say the cutoff is 20 and I am scoring 27, so I'll be like, no, it's not enough. When it should be good enough if I do DILR and quants well, right? So if I do these two well, I can somehow manage to be average in this. I didn't plan like that, and that also added to the stress and doubtfulness, and that did show, I think. So yeah, well, what's done is done. I was sad yesterday a little bit, but not too much. I was like, you know what, I have other exams coming up like that. So, and well, NMAT and SNAP are also there. Main focus will be on that. So yeah, the plan from now till I guess 1st Jan is when the exam is. Uh, Plan will be to focus mainly on this, or with NMAT and SNAP being the side focus, right? I'll just write. I'm not used to writing with a mouse, but yeah, that will be the main focus with NMAT and SNAP, of course. Um, and my strategy would be to just score okay in the English sections, do well in the reasoning sections, and do very good in quants. So that is where my strategy will lie. I still haven't seen how the papers for these exams come. I know NMAT is an adaptive exam. SNAP is a very SNAP is that exam which focuses on speed, I think. But I still have to see, and that I have no clue. I have heard that you get 1 mark for doing a problem correctly, minus point 0.2 for doing not doing it at all, and minus 0.5, I think. I'm not sure for doing it wrong or something. So yeah, I'll have to see. I know I have also heard Zach does not have a written essay this time, so that will work to my advantage, hopefully. Um, so yeah, that's the plan. That's what I've learned. And the next 1 month uh, or so, 25th November, 25th December, and then I'll have 10 more days. Um, for the next a month or so, I'll practice very hard for this exam. And I'll make sure I ace it. Because if someone told me that this is how CAT is gonna look like, and you have 9 months to prepare for it, can you do it? I would have definitely done it without thinking at all. But well, I was doubtful. So what's gone's gone. So yeah, that is all from my side. Whoever has written the CAT exam, first of all, you should give yourself a pat on the back that, well, you've done, you've come far in your journey. So, yeah, definitely. And those who have done good and are confident they'll get a good percentile, just start preparing for your GDPIs. Um, and those who are like me, who are like, yeah, CAT में तो कुछ नहीं होना ज़्यादा. We shall focus on that. We shall work hard, and we shall definitely focus on getting other good colleges as well. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I'll see you guys around if I think about making more videos. I'll do it.